Today, Ethereum launches its latest big upgrade. And Tom Schmidt with the crypto VC firm Dragonfly breaks down how Ethereum's update helps with scalability. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. Bitcoin notching yet another all-time high today as investors keep searching for a top to this rally. As of noon Eastern, the cryptocurrency rose by nearly 1.5%, peaking earlier in the morning to that new record, $73,679. At the same time, Ether's ticking just slightly lower following the rollout of its biggest tech upgrade in nearly a year. Now we'll tell you more about that in just a bit. There's also Polygon's Matic token surging this morning by more than 7.5%. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Coinbase shares are bouncing this morning after the company announced a $1 billion bond offering. In a statement yesterday afternoon, the crypto platform proposed a $1 billion private offering of convertible notes, which is a form of debt that companies can repay by issuing shares to the lender. Coinbase said it intends to use the money raised from the offering to repay current debts. Now, following the announcement, the company's stock initially dropped in after-hours trading, but gained 2.8% around noon Eastern. That stock also got an upgrade over at Raymond James today, from underperform to market perform, as it's made major gains so far this year. Next, shares of Bitcoin miner Core Scientific are in the red this morning after the company released fourth quarter earnings yesterday. The firm reported nearly $142 million in revenue in the last 3 months of 2023, an increase of $20 million from the year before. However, the company reported weakening revenues for the full year. Core brought in more than $502 million in revenue, a drop of around $138 million compared to 2022. Still, Core raked in more than 19,000 Bitcoin last year, 13,762 of which was from self-mining. They say that's more than any other publicly listed miner in North America. That publicly listed bid is important because for much of 2023, Core Scientific wasn't a publicly traded company. It was delisted back in April of last year as it went through bankruptcy, then rejoined the NASDAQ in January once that process was complete. Now, Core has been trading mostly flat since then. Last, Ethereum just took a big step in becoming a faster and cheaper network to use. A widely anticipated technological upgrade, dubbed Dencun, was activated this morning, aiming to increase Ethereum's efficiency. The move is expected to spark growth on Layer 2 networks by lowering their data fees. Now, the update, which is the protocol's biggest in nearly a year, is considered crucial in helping tackle Ethereum's notoriously high transaction fees. It could also kickstart a race among Layer 2 networks to jump on the changes in scaling the blockchain. A research report out last week from Fidelity Digital Assets noted that Dencun could mean near zero transaction fees for Layer 2 blockchains, which could attract new users. Fidelity Digital Assets also said that the update turns Ethereum into a more optimal database for storing data that is, quote, vital to the operations of other blockchains. All right, sticking with Ethereum's upgrade for our main story. Yesterday, I spoke with Tom Schmidt, general partner at the crypto venture capital and research firm Dragonfly, about what this update means for the network and the industry as a whole. He also weighs in on what's moving markets right now as Bitcoin has been surging to new all-time highs. So another big week for Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency keeps hitting all new, fresh highs. And I'm wondering, what do you think is behind the current rally? Do you think it's all the excitement surrounding the spot Bitcoin ETFs coupled with the upcoming Bitcoin halving, and how much of that is part of the equation?
Yeah, it's no surprise that the ETFs have really contributed pretty dramatically to Bitcoin's latest rise. Obviously, in very concrete terms, there have been about $9 billion in net inflows into these ETFs in the past, or since they've launched in January, which has been pretty impressive. But certainly a large part of it is also just an endorsement of Bitcoin as an asset and crypto as an asset category. It's sort of tacitly endorsing these assets and allowing people to purchase them from their brokerage accounts just the way they would purchase normal S&P ETFs or things like that. The halving is always a popular topic. I think it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy where certainly, a reduction in issuance of Bitcoin does help the price by making it more scarce. But a large part of it is also just bringing it back into headlines, having it be top of mind. In practice, the ETF flows are substantially larger than any sort of increased issuance in Bitcoin from Bitcoin miners. So I think it's not more of a material change and more of just a change in perception of the asset.
So do you anticipate this momentum will continue in the foreseeable future, or do you expect a steep correction in the mix?
Candidly, I've been surprised by how short-term bullish the ETFs have been for crypto and for Bitcoin. I think long-term, obviously, structurally, it makes it easier for capital to flow into Bitcoin, and the U.S. is, the largest, most sophisticated capital market in the world. So it matters a lot more when the U.S. has access to ETFs, even though ETFs have been out for a while in Europe. I think the most impressive thing so far has been that this Bitcoin rally has been in the face of a still pretty tight macro environment. I think originally people were expecting more rate cuts earlier this year. In 2022, there was this narrative that Bitcoin is just another risk asset. It's going to trade down along with the rest of all these other risk assets. And in fact, Bitcoin has really been outperforming. Small cap tech has still kind of been, lingering around its 2020, 2021 levels. But Bitcoin has rallied alongside, the rest of sort of macro cap tech. And so, and gold for that matter, also reaching new time highs. And so Bitcoin is really finding its place in the world and finding its narrative. And that is, I think, increasingly attractive.
So another big story this week, Ethereum's next big upgrade. What do you think will happen to Ethereum's price, and how will this upgrade impact the industry as a whole?
Yeah, people are really excited for Dencun. I think a large part of Ethereum's story has been about smart contract scalability. How do we bring this technology to the next billion people? And Ethereum's path to doing that has been through what we call layer twos, which you can think of as small mini blockchains that run alongside Ethereum, the main blockchain. These L2s post their state data, post their ledgers back to Ethereum to sort of borrow from its security, and they pay fees to Ethereum, the chain, in order to do so. Dencun makes it substantially cheaper for those L2s to pay fees back to Ethereum, which in turn makes users of these sort of mini blockchains pay much less fees and makes it much less makes it much more accessible, on the order of a fraction of a cent to send a stablecoin or send USDC to someone on the other side of the world. And I think that is a large part of the crypto story is global, accessible financial services.
I want to turn to AI and crypto. According to Coinbase's report on AI and crypto from last week, many AI-related crypto tokens have outperformed Bitcoin and Ether starting in Q4 of last year. So what does that signal to you? I understand you have a bit of a contrarian view.
I think we are a little bit more cautious around the crypto AI intersection than a lot of other funds. I think if you look at the rally in a lot of these AI tokens, most of it, I would say, is based more on narrative than on fundamentals. A lot of it kind of started after the Sam Altman OpenAI board drama. There was this concern around the future of AI models and whether or not we want, a small number of large corporations to be running them and have access to them, and everyone else have to go through these intermediaries. The AI token narrative is the idea that maybe there can be a decentralized model that can run in a decentralized way so that it can't be censored, it can't go down, it can't be subject to the whims of a small number of people. I think if you look on the ground from a fundamentals perspective, there's still very little usage and traction for most of these crypto AI networks, but things could change in the future. There's a lot of research going into this area, a lot of smart people working on novel products. So we are investigating, we're looking at the data, we're looking for interesting investment opportunities. But right now it feels, again, like a lot of narrative building is really what's driving this rally.
So in a nutshell, how do you think AI, the Dencun upgrade, and the upcoming Bitcoin halving, how do you think all three components will impact crypto moving forward?
I think, in aggregate, again, crypto has really been a surprising rally, given where the state of macro is. If you look at a lot of the, again, smaller cap tech stocks that were outperforming in 2021, 2022, that have gotten killed as interest rates have risen, crypto is not like that. Crypto is finding its own footing in the sense that it can perform like a inflation hedge as Bitcoin has done. It is a novel technology application that does have real transaction volume. I think in aggregate, stablecoins are on pace to do more volume than Visa this year. And that continues to grow year over year. And so really the story, all these three things are just real just tailwinds of an endorsement of crypto as an asset category and the maturation of the technology to be able to serve billions of people.
Now, obviously, Dragonfly is a venture capital firm. So before I let you go, I'm curious, what are you paying attention to right now? Is it L2s, infrastructure, NFTs, CeFi, DeFi? What are you focused on right now? What are you thinking of investing in?
It's all of the above. I think for us, we are really a technology-driven venture fund at the end of the day. A lot of our best investments have been in smart contract scalability. So new layer twos, new ways to move assets across bridges, even new blockchains that have really fundamental technical breakthroughs that allow these things to scale, again, to billions of users. We're also seeing a lot of excitement around consumer applications that use crypto in novel ways. Things like international remittances or things like consumer banking apps that use stablecoins as a way to bring dollar-based savings account to places like Turkey or Argentina that have suffered from pretty incredible inflation. And so crypto is a little bit like the blind men feeling the elephant, where it really depends on where you're looking at it to sort of get a sense of a different perspective. So we are investing across the board, and overall we've seen really amazing entrepreneurs continue to enter this space and continue to build.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today. We'll be back again tomorrow with more on the Dencun upgrade, and we'll see you then.